Hello and thank you for stopping by the channel. Welcome to WTF Mortgage and thank you for checking out this video. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to do an interest rate update for October 15th, 2024. Today, I'm going to also compare that to the 7th so you can get an idea of where things are heading. Let's kick it off with the rates. You are looking at the full spectrum of available rates. If you've never seen my videos before, this is a behind the scenes look at what is going on. All of the rates you see right here are available at every bank, every lender, every brokerage, every credit union across the country. You do not see all of these rates because they typically only advertise one rate because the rates on the far ends of the spectrum are too expensive for most consumers. If I presented that $44,873 in fees, 4.25 30-year fixed rate to you, you would tell me to go pound sand up one side of my butt. Same thing with the 7.625 rate. Now this rate has no fees and a $12,000 credit going to you, but the rate is too high for most of you. Again, you would tell me go pounding with the sand thing. So most of the companies will advertise in what I call the Goldilocks zone. And that Goldilocks zone is right now is about 5.5 to 6.5. That's why I have all of those rates in the middle there. This week and probably even the next week and the week after, you're going to see all the companies out there advertising in this range here. You see, even though they have all of these rates available in this full interest rate spectrum, they don't have to show all of these. They can advertise none of these, they can advertise one of these, or they can advertise all of these, but they typically only advertise one of these because it makes them look more competitive over another lender. They show you that interest rate. Most people don't know that we all have the same rates. What you were really shopping for are the fees, so that rate baits them in there, and then they kind of gloss over the fees until it's too late and you're already involved with them. So remember, you are shopping for the fees, not the rates. If you have a hard time wrapping your head around that, you remember, this is just a retail product like any product. Think of it like you're buying a car. The same car, same type of car and everything costs different, say at two different car dealerships. This is no difference. The products are our loan programs and our interest rates, and they're going to cost different, and you shop around to get the best price for a particular rate. Never, ever, 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 ever call around after seeing my videos and ask a company, what is your rate? That's like calling up Best Buy looking for some electronics and asking them, how much is your TV? Don't do that again after watching my video. I want you to be a pro, okay? So remember, we all have the same rates. What you are shopping for are the fees. These are all the available rates here, but you're typically only going to see the rates right in the Goldilocks zone there. So what you want to do is compare rate to rate. Don't compare a 5.625 rate to a 6.125 rate. You compare a 5.5 rate to another company's 5.5 rate, a 6.125 rate to another company's 6.125 rate. And then you look at the APR, and that's where we're going to roll into next. Okay, so we just talked about the rates. Now let's talk about the APRs. And for those of you who have seen the videos before, sorry about that. I need to run over this again. So into the APR presentation here for 45 seconds or so. So the APR tells you a few things. When you're shopping around online, the APR will let you know if there are fees associated with the rate being advertised. When the APR and the rate are the same, so look here. Let's just look on the here on the 15th. All right. Now go down to the 6.5 rate on the 15th there. So you see the 6.5 rate. It has an APR of 6.5, and there are no fees and a credit going to you of $2,270. When the rate and APR are the same, that lets you know that there are no fees associated with the rate being advertised. Now go on up to the 6.125 rate, just right above that. The 6.125 rate has an APR of 6.147, 1121 in fees there. Notice how the APR is just slightly above the advertised rate. See that 6.125 to 6.147? It's a little bit higher, so there's only a little bit in fees. Now go up to the 5.5 rate. Look at the APR on that. 5.5 rate has an APR of 5.742. That is a big spread, and that's why you see $12,421 in fees in the 5.5. So remember that. I want you to get really good at recognizing the rate and APR relationship, because when you're out there shopping, advertisers are not going to be able to bullshit you anymore. They're going to sling that one rate to you. Now, they don't have to show the fees by law, but they do have to show you the APR. And you see that wonderful looking rate, and then you see that high APR, you know they've got a bunch of fees packed in there. And literally, you can use this to compare. I'm actually showing you real interest rates. This is real interest rate pricing, okay? I'm not showing you any made up horseshit here. And this is actually slightly discounted pricing. So when you're out there right now, you can go online right now after watching this video, or while you're watching this video, pause it. Look for a company advertising one of the rates in the Goldilocks zone. And like, say, for example, you see a company advertising a 5.875 rate, and you notice that they have a 6.15 APR. Well, you know they have fees that are higher than 5,932 because the APR is higher, and you want to get better and better doing that. So when you, at a glance, you will be able to tell once you get better at this, more familiar with it, because it's easy. Once you get more familiar with it, you'll be able to look at a rate and boom, know roughly how much in fees they're in the rate. All right, so that's the APR. So we spoke about the rates. We all have the same rates. The difference are the closing fees. The APR, one of the things the APR can do is let you know if there are fees associated with the rate being advertised. Now let's get into where the hell things are going right now. So let's do a comparison here. We can pick any of these. Let's pick the 5.5 rate. All right, so check out the 5.5 rate on the 7th. 5.5 rate had an APR of 5.731. The fees were 11,903 smackaroonies. Now look at the today. 5.5 rate with a 5.742 APR. Notice how the APR went up just a skosh, just a bit. And in relation, look what happened to the fees. 11,903 went up to 12,421. The fees just went up just a skosh bit by about $500 or so. That's represented in APR. You see that APR made a small move. The fees made a small move there. So pricing did go up a little bit there. Now, not all pricing goes up together. Let's check out another one. And not all of it goes up the same amounts, but in general, things did go up. Look at the 6.125 rate. The APR was 6.143. Now today, 6.125 rate, the APR went up a skosh to 6.147. So the fees went from 926 to 1121. And look at the 6.5. The credit was 2251. There's no fees in the credit of 2251 on the 7th. That credit actually went up a tiny bit. So it happens like that. You'll have some rates pricing, some rates along the band that you're shopping within will go up, and some will go down. That's why it's a good idea to look at all the available rates. If you're talking to a lender or a brokerage or whatever over the phone, you ask them for what are the other rates that are available. And don't just talk about the rate that they're trying to shove down your throat, the one that they're advertising. Ask them for all of the available rates, because behind the scenes, what they are looking at on their computer screen is something like this. Not as many rates. I'm showing you a lot because I'm the owner. I'm actually showing you my rate pricing because I don't have access to anybody else's rate pricing, so I'm giving you a behind-the-scenes look on mine. So as the owner, I have access to a whole slew of these rates. But when you're talking to the person, the loan originator who's working for the company, they're looking at the same thing, but just not as many. They're probably looking at about 8 to 12 rates when you're talking to them. So ask them about other rates available. Like if they're only advertising a 6% rate, ask them, hey, what else is available and how much is that? Okay. So don't just go for the rate that they're trying to shove down your throat. Okay. So pricing overall went up. In fact, this 5.875, just a month ago when things first dropped down, they dropped down tremendously. That 5.875 was no fees and a credit going to you. Now it's freaking $5,932 fees. That's a massive jump over a month. So I do think they're going to go back down. Well, most of us think they're going to go back down again, just like we predicted they were going to drop the first time. We predicted that like literally a year ago, and it did that. And it's going to go down again. We're predicting how fast or how slow, I'm not sure. It all depends on what JP and the FOMCs are doing. Oh, that's Jerome Powell and the Federal Open Market Committee. I don't know if he wants to let his bank buddies make some more money off of the high interest rate environment. Anyway. So, but you need to keep your eye, if you're looking to purchase or you're looking to refi, keep your eyes on what's happening. Bookmark a few of your favorite companies. Hopefully, you end up bookmarking, you run across my company, you end up bookmarking it. But anyway, bookmark few of your favorite companies so you can reference them. Keep an eye on what they're advertising. Also, you know what's a good idea you can do is on your phone, your Android or your iPhone. I'm sure I have iPhones, but I'm sure it's on Android too. The stock app. Put TNX on it. If you don't have it on there, slap the 10-year Treasury on there. The symbols TNX. Slap that on there. Also slap a one or two MBSs that you can track. Like I'm tracking JP Morgan's MBS. I think it's OMBAX, OMBAX, I believe the symbol is, and iShares Lehman. Maybe I'll take a picture of my phone and slap it up here. But track one or two MBSs. So when the 10-year Treasury, you see that trending down in the red, and you see the your MBSs that you're tracking going up, you can pretty much bet on mortgage rates or pricing is going to be going down. Opposite happens when the 10-year Treasury is going up and you see the MBSs that you're tracking going down. Sure as shit, you're going to see the mortgage rate pricing going up. Now, this is not going to make you the mortgage oracle of freaking Omaha. You're not going to be able to really predict what's going on, but what you will be able to do is have a better idea of what is happening, what the reality is. For example, if you hear scuttlebutt out there, like people talking, hey, mortgage rate pricing is going down. You see these companies advertising. You hear one of the talking heads on TV mentioning about mortgage rates going down. Well, you go to the sites I mentioned that you want to bookmark a few mortgage companies that advertise their rates. Forget about the ones that don't advertise their rates. Screw them. They're not advertising their rates for a reason, because they want you to call in so they can have one of their slick ass salespeople reel you in. So if they're not advertising rates, tell them go piss off. Anyway, that's a different video right there. So the places that are advertising rates, book a few of your favorites. Go back and see what they're doing on their rates. Try to keep note of what they've advertised before, so you can know where things are going. And then you pop on your cell phone and look, and you see the 10-year Treasury going down. You see your MBSs you're tracking going up. That confirms it. Okay, we are in a downward environment. So that's what you want to check every day. I'm talking about the people who are looking to refinance. We really got to refinance right now, so you want to get the best deal. I want you to look every day if you're in that mode. Same thing with purchase. If you're looking to make a purchase but you're waiting for rate pricing, you too, I want you to keep an eye on it every day. That way you can get the best deal. You track it till you think it's at the lowest point. Boom, then you can lock in. Or one more quick idea you can do is track it and maybe not wait that long, because a lot of times when people wait too long, then it ticks back up, and literally it could tick back up by a couple $1,000 in one night. I would recommend going for, in an environment like that, go for a no cost loan. Like if you had locked in, for the people that are at 6.5, 6.7, 7%, 7.5, there's a crap ton of people with interest rates above 6% right now. If you had locked in at a 5.875 when it was no fees, you would be cool right now. Now, the thing about locking in a rate with no fees is that if the rates drop down again in a few months, you can just refinance. You refinance again, and you don't have to worry about breaking even on the fees you paid previously, because you didn't pay any fees. That's why the no-cost loans are great to do in an environment like that. You don't have to try and wait and gamble, and sometimes even be greedy. You're like, all right, this no-cost rate is low enough. Boom, go for the no-cost one. A couple months later, pricing drops down. Boom, do it again. All right. So that's my advice on there. So we covered the rates, we covered the APR, we covered where the direction things are going in, and how you can make a move at the right moment when things are just almost perfect. All right. Drop any questions in the comments, please. so everybody can learn from them. Of course, it's a private question. You can reach out to me privately. The contact information is on the is in the channel. Otherwise, put it in the comments so everybody can learn from them. Take care. I'm going to come out with another one of these videos maybe next week or something like that, so we can compare, or as the data changes. So stay tuned, and I will see you on the next one. Thanks for checking out the video.